anyone tell you that you are weaker than or less than anything. You are not less than a boy. You are not less than a child.
Everywhere we look today, you can see the advancement of man, how the human mind has basically invented, created, and built a whole new world. Yet strangely, every time that I have been on the field, I've wondered how that same human mind continues to allow the exploitation of children across the world, where girls are being denied to go to school, where children are living without clean water, medical care, protection, even food.
When I learned some years ago that writers were expected to have had really unhappy childhoods to be successful, I began to think about how I could invent horrible things my parents had done to me. But the truth is that I had a very happy childhood, full of laughter and love, in a very close-knit family.
I was building somebody else, and I'm very proud that I built somebody else, a man. Right? So,
you might never fail on the scale I did, but some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default.
So importantly right now, the experience must make it clear that the safety of women, minorities, and anyone who may be vulnerable is a right and not a privilege. A right that will be respected by a community that believes and supports survivors, and that recognizes that when one person's safety is violated, everyone feels their own safety is violated.
Why won't women and children enjoy a better society when there is so much to go around? When you educate a woman, you educate a child for a better society. All over the world, women and children suffer various societal ills such as rape, battery, lack of good education, access to proper health care. In Nigeria, women and children have suffered as victims of insurgency, hunger, and suffering. WCS seeks to discuss and address these issues and more. 12 to 1 p.m. on Mondays and 1 to 2 p.m. on Fridays. It's all about women, children, and society.
WCS, now airing on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of WCS, Women, Children and Society. My name is Oikeke Igado Kure. Today, stories of adults having current knowledge of children has continued to thrive. In the last decade, there was hardly a month that went by without reports of cases of child rape and molestation. In today's edition, I have a father of a 6-year-old who was raped 7 times by his landlord's brother. And my issue here is, how have we protected our children, both males and females, from the shackles of the wickedness of pedophiles who are on rampage in Nigeria? Like I said, there's hardly a day that will pass now that we do not hear of one child or the other being raped or molested in Nigeria. Question again is, how did we get to this point? What is the law enforcement agencies doing about it? Can we say that the relevant agencies are doing enough to ensure that justice is what the victims get?
The matter that brought me to break the family is concern my little baby. One of my landlord brother have raped her. As at then, my daughter was 6 years old and the man was 47 years old. Then the doctor examined my daughter and proved rape with infection and rashes on her private parts, of which she placed us on the drugs. Take the matter to Maraba Division. The DPO asked the man agreed that she done it. Then the DPO asked us to say we should settle with the family. I say no, I will not settle with them. Then instead of rape. He shared the matter under assault on a woman outraged modesty. Then we attended the court for 9 months. I was crying, running up and down till I met Barrister Maswell Okpara under Brekete family as at then. He took me to CP Nasrawa, which is now BIG presently. So he gave order that they would arrest the man and charge the matter afresh under rape case. On February 12, 2016, I carried a cry, go National Human Rights Commission. I laid my complaint, the right to Anthony General of Nasarawa. After that, so up to now, I don't even know the charges that they charge the man up to date. All the money I've been spending follow up the matter, there's no any solution. That is why I run to Brekete, voice of voiceless.
I was 6 years at that time that the thing happened. Our landlord brother used to come that I should come, that he want to send me. If I come, he will say that I should lie on the bed. If I lie, he will start using his manhood on me. If I want to shout, he will use one hand and cover my mouth, use the other carrying one red and doing incantation. He said that if I tell anybody that he's going to kill me. So because I got there, I ran to tell my brother ran to tell my parents. So my father ran to the nearest police station and reported the case. My parents used to see small posts coming from my private parts. Let Nigeria fight for justice for me. I feel pains in my private parts. Whenever I want to relate, I can't control the relate, and I don't know when it comes.
I beg me Nigeria put hand and help us. We don't have anybody, we don't have money because of my brother has money past my husband. They use their money to fight with us. We want Nigeria to help us to fight this justice.
Justice is what we're looking at in today's edition of WCS. How have we been able to access justice for the victims in Nigeria? One of the testimonies that got me interested in that report was when the father said they went to a police station, and then by the end of the day, the policeman is telling them, you need to go home and settle these issues like family. And I don't know how it became like family for a man to molest a child of 6 years. So, and this is the issue that we have, and this is the problem that we have in Nigeria. We've not been able to get justice for victims of rape cases. And now it's turned into a different case because the people have turned to children. Pedophiles are the ones rampaging around the places. So how can you ensure that your child does not fall into the wrong hand of these people, of these evil people? And why do we continue to look at rape cases in Nigeria as issues of family? It's not family in any way. If I run to the police station, for instance, because someone is raped, and then I am told that I should go, that it's a family thing, I should go and settle it at home, then where can I go to? All right, a situation where a child is raped and then the person even confessed that he did it. And as we speak, the person is walking on the street. So this is where we take our discussion from today. Can we say that we have enough laws? Are the security agencies ready to protect our children, especially when it has to do with rape? What should we do as a family? I talk about rape cases often in this program because I know that it is like a war situation now, where the child is no longer safe in any way, both the male child and the female child. Especially that it's happening that you cannot even know where your child can be safe. Because a lot of times you hear this has happened even in the home, in the families, even relatives, friends, neighbors, molesting children. And I keep asking, where can we be to the level that our children are being molested without us knowing? What should we do as a people? Isn't it time that our security agencies and operatives not look at issues of rape as family affairs or as issues where you trivialize and say, go home and settle? And some will even say, okay, just give them some money, let them just go to the hospital and take care of themselves, and that is all it is? Is this about money? Is this about sentiment? Are we thinking of the life of the child in future? What are the consequences of rape on a child? When the child grows up, what are those damages? The child is already traumatized psychologically, medically, and what of you mentally? A lot of damage would have been done to the child. So if we as security agencies think it's all we just trivialize and say, okay, go home and settle, then where can we get the justice that we're asking for? Should people who get themselves involved in this kind of bastardly act be allowed to just walk on the streets because they know that nothing can happen to them? If they know that nothing can happen to them, don't you think that they will continue to do these things? Even in the schools, children are not even safe. Because we hear reports and stories of even teachers, some teachers molesting children, both boys and girls. Where are our children safe? Is it in the homes where even family members molest and rape them? Is it on the street? Is it in the schools? Is it in the churches? Is it in the mosque? Where can they be safe? And how can we continue? How long can we continue as a people? And this is the question I'm asking today. And I'm sure it breaks your heart as much as it breaks my heart right now. If you have children and then you have someone molesting your child, you know exactly what this means. Isn't it time that we ensure that we come together as a people to end this? One, by taking care of our children and be mindful of their needs. Also ensuring that those who indulge in things like this are not let to go free, no matter how rich they are. Can money repair the life of someone? Some of these children are even killed. We've heard cases where 2, 3, 4-year-old children are raped and killed. And this is what cannot continue in our society. I want to draw my attention and our attention today on the security agencies. Why is it that when this happens, they say, okay, go home and settle? And so you will even begin to ask, what were you wearing at the time you were raped? Should this be the case? Nobody should be given should have any excuse to rape and molest a child, or even an adult as a that. So let's look at these things together. What roles do you think that security agencies have to play? Should a case of a man, or a case where a man raped a 6-year-old child be lingering for years, even to the point that the parents could no longer even say, okay, this is the status of the case? We need to care more about our children. They are our tomorrow. When we are no longer here, they're the ones that will go carry on the future for us. If we allow some few wicked people to destroy them, then what will our future be? We need to live a society for our children, the children who are mentally, physically healthy, to take on from where we will stop. And so if we allow this thing to continue to happen, then we cannot guarantee the future of our nation, the future of our children. And this is not what we want. Everybody's right must be protected, especially children, because most times children don't even have the powers over what happens to them and what does not happen to them. They're vulnerable. They can't stop anything. And a lot of times I wonder, how can you look at children in their innocence and hurt them? And for those who are doing this, do they have children? And if people do this to your children, how would you feel? Would you do this to your own child? Even though I know, of course, that we hear stories about how even parents molest their own children. But a lot of times, they do it to other people's children. And the time has come for us to begin to look at other people's children like our own children, and ensure that we don't put them through any kind of pain and shame. Anything that is not good, we shouldn't allow ourselves, we shouldn't be seen as doing them to our children or anyone at all. Okay? We need to protect our children, even if they are not our own biological children. If you see a child outside, consider that child as your own. Because whatever can happen to that child can also happen to your own child, because a lot of times you don't have your children under your eyes for 24 hours. They need to go out, they need to go to school, they go to the churches, they go to the mosque. They play around in the neighborhood sometimes. They visit their neighbors and their friends. And so if we individually take it as our responsibility to protect children, no matter who they are, no matter their age, whether they're ours personally or not, that is what we should be doing. We need to depart from these acts of wickedness, where we'll sit, think about it, and execute this kind of wicked plans against children in Nigeria. This is 2018. We need to begin to have a different narrative. We need to begin to see different headlines, positive ones. No headlines of children being raped, mothered, like we do have now. So call me, what should we do as a people? As families, like I always say, because I know we're all stakeholders in this. Just one person cannot change this. How can we together end this and ensure that the rights of our children are protected in such a way that we can be assured that they're safe wherever they are? This is possible if we as individuals, one to one, agree that we'll do the right things. As a parent, what is your role? How have you ensured that your children do not fall into the hands of these wicked people rampaging around? As a member of a community, what is your responsibility? What have you done to ensure that the children in your community are protected? Are you contributing to their wars? Or are we too busy doing one thing or the other that we forget that our children cannot take care of themselves? Or are you a teacher or an educationist somewhere? Are you also contributing to the problems? Because we hear a lot of children, a lot of teachers in some schools these days, where children cannot be safe under them anymore, because they think children now is what they should turn their eyes on. Are you that kind of a teacher? Should we also be very careful the kind of people we admit into our homes? Because we hear a lot of times where teachers who are invited to families to teach, what's this thing called? Is it extramural classes? These classes that children take after schools. And then by the end of the day, these uncles, these aunties, pounce on the children and abuse them. While the people in your houses, in your homes, have you taken time to put your eyes and your ears on the ground to ensure that your children are safe under their watch? Or do you just admit a man in the name of your child's extramural class, and then you pick your car keys and then you drive off? The man has arrived, the woman is now around, so it's the time for you to go out, leaving your child in the hands of this person. And then your child is at the mercy of this person. Isn't it better for your child to fail in school than for her life or his life to be ruined? Or can't you also provide that kind of lessons for your child? Can you create time for your children? Do you listen to your children? Do you talk with your children? As a mother, as a father, if your child comes and says, look, I have pains in so places, have you taken time to check out why this pain is there? Or do you just say sorry and then you just overlook it? If you're bathing your child, do you pay attention to her body parts? Do you look at them? Because these people have been able to prevent children from talking a lot of times. So most times these things go on for too long before you know. So, but if you're vigilant and you teach your children the right things, begin to talk to them. It's never too early. Let it sink. Let it sink into their minds. Let them be able to identify the danger signs, the warnings. A lot of times in the neighborhood, this man called these children and said, okay, go and buy this for me. And by the time the child returns, they lock the door and they begin to do other things with these children. Do you allow your children to be going on errands for people in their community, in your neighbors? Just because you know this person and you know this person, do you think your child is safe with them? As parents, we have a great role to play. Before we think of government protection, we should be thinking of how we can protect ourselves, first of all. So can you call me now? What should we do? What should we be telling our security agencies, especially those who are responsible, the Nigerian police especially? What should we be telling them? Can we bring them, their mind to the point that they no longer see cases of rape as issues where you can go home and settle? Is it until the person kills the victim, literally, before you said, okay, he or she has done something? A lot of people, some people even after being raped, even commit suicides. But that's not what we're saying here. If you were raped before, there's a way out. It's not the end of life. You can seek for help. You can still live normal lives. Okay? So call me. The number is 081 89 99 1011. What is the role of the security agencies? Should we continue as a nation where issues of rape and molestation, child abuse are considered as trivial issues? If this is so, then how can we get help? So call me. Let's begin to talk to our security agencies. All right? The number is 081 89 99 1011. Let's also talk to our teachers, our neighbors, everyone around us. We need to change what is happening. Hello?
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 Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Florence. I'm calling from Moscow.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, both parents, neighbors, and everybody has an important role to play.
Okay.
Because it's really saddening to hear how situations are being going through in those countries, and everybody is like, I don't care. There should be a law. Why in a yes, because if there's a law, even when the person runs to the, what is it called? The police are supposed to protect us. Whether you are rich or poor, you will face the law. I think that would be the best way out. Because it's so sudden when you open like this girl program, this girl, the day I heard of her story and I was like, for God's sake, 47-year-old man, what was he looking for? A pastor.
Yes.
A pastor. You see, it's bad. And it's true. The way they go about it, they will tell the children, if you talk, I will kill you.
Yes.
Both men, both females. Even now, so this days now, lesbianism is also gaining ground. So both sides are not free.
Yes.
We need to really, really, talk to our children, our neighbors, our nieces. They are the future of tomorrow. They are the president of tomorrow. We really need to caution them. It is now left for us to say, if you see this person, run.
Yes.
Or tell them, don't open doors, lock the doors when I'm not around until you hear my name calling you, open the door. I think it is now time also for guardians, for parents, cousins, aunties to be letting the younger ones to be known. Right, let them know what they have that is going out there. Because it is better prevented than let it happen to any child. The child will never remember them. No matter the kind of, the training, the kind of, what do they call it? The kind of training, letting the person speak, the person will never remember them.
Yes.
There's no comparison. One, her innocency or his innocency was taken away from him without his own due consent. So we really have a long way to play, and Nigeria as a nation, as a country, should implement that law. So that these people who go around thinking that they are thundering will be punished.
I agree.
It's really sad because it's everyday news. These days, even a baby, newborn baby, it's getting out of hand.
It's really getting out of hand.
It's really getting out of hand. How could you see a 3-year child, for God's sake? Okay, what did the baby do to arouse your emotion that moment? That is what I don't know.
I think it's severe acts of wickedness from the heart of man.
Very wicked. And mothers too should help, even if it is not your child. Or whoever that's giving you responsibility of their child, you are not the mother of that child. We should also sensitize these children.
True.
If a woman bears a child, but when training, the community trains the child. It is really sudden. It is really a sad situation. Okay. Thank you, and to have a great day.
Thank you very much. All right. I agree with her. As parents, and like I was saying earlier, we have a role to protect all the children that comes our way. Okay? We shouldn't think that these ones are not my children, and so I cannot protect them when they come across, or I come across them. Hello? Good afternoon. Okay, you need to turn down the volume of your radio.
Yes.
Turn the volume of the radio down completely so that we can hear each other.
Okay. I think it's okay now.
Okay, yes.
There's nothing that we can do in this world unless we pray, only for the parents, we should pray against our children.
Okay.
And also to teach them what they're supposed to do. Hello?
I can hear you. I'm with you.
Then, the children nowadays, some children, they are not listening to their parents. If the children, they are listening to their parents, this thing will not happen. And the men of nowadays, they are useless. So for that, there's nothing that we can do in this world unless we pray for the nation. So that the nation will fear the God. Because there are some people that they don't fear of God. If you are fear of God, how can they arrest the 3 years child? It's very bad. So that is my own contribution.
Thank you very much. Okay, your child will listen to you if you talk to your child, especially from the right age. All right, but then how can a child of 3 years listen to you enough to protect herself or himself from a full-grown man who have mastered the arts of evil? Hello. Good afternoon. What's your name? Hello. Okay, you can call me back. The number is 081-8999-1011. What roles do we have as a people? Why do we continue to look at issues of rape as trivial? Hello.
Yeah, my name is Sumake Samadindadi. I'm calling you from Usetu Abuja.
Okay, please go ahead.
Actually, yeah, my contribution to this I have a lot. Actually, when we look at the world today, a lot of our children, right, and they have been abused, a lot of children. And I know as a Christian, whatever thing is happening like that, we don't need to take care up and down what we do because it's wrong. The future of us, time is coming. Time is coming that evil shall overtake the world. And when we see all these things, they are the sign of the last stage. They are the sign. And you see, what I want to say is that they used to happen sometimes whenever a relative or a cousin, uncle, auntie, get to hear it. Get to hear it, and I want this child, I want this boy to come and stay with me. Having given this child to them, they will take this child away. I think they will go and take care of this child very, very well. And when they get to wherever they went, before you know, there will be different. Even when you go there to visit them, you will see that they still different with their own minority children and those children that are still under their care. Sometimes the children will find it very, very hard to extend their feelings to their guardians. And they will not go ahead and meeting their peer group, saying something I don't know. From here now, the peer group will advise them wrongly. So, we want to protect all these issues that are right there and there. Let the relatives, the parents know to be very, very careful because they're giving their children out to whosoever. And after that again, when you see some of the parents, they don't have good parents, their responsibility. They don't care for their children. But then you look at the child, you know this day is the day of evil. Somebody of parents, you will not care of the best thing. And they will exposing themselves just to make it way. Exposing the work, everywhere and there from very nice. No one is there to guide them. You look at some of the they are don't abuse them. Some of our youth are drunk. So when they will be targeting them, before you know, they will call them. So sometimes let the parents be very, very careful. Sometimes the parents introduce their children to what is blessed. They will go to market, buy these dresses, do that to the children. Even though they discover that the children they are doing a kind of life that is not there, but they will be giving them some rights that children don't get. So let the parents be very, very careful. When it comes to bringing up the conscience to begin at home. They should mentor their children very, very well. Some of the parents, they will never accept. They will dare you to talk about their children. They will never accept. So please, and also let the government see it. They should make sure that the adequate spirit, that they let this know to the world, to the town, that any man that abuses a child, they have been telling me, but from that time we go and abuse a child, we go free. They will do this, they will go free. So that's the reason why you see they will continue doing what they are doing. So please, some of the parents, they are not parents. They don't give their children some right that is illegal. Introduce them to some class that is not right. So please, let the parents tell their children, men and say how to dress, how to speak outside. So when we continue doing all these things, from home to community, to town, to local government, to the state, all women and young ladies there. So you see a lot of things are happening. So let the government, let the law, by such a God will help us to bring out the young children. The children that they will help their family. And after that, they will become a society, community, and all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us, okay? All right, bye. Okay.
Bye-bye.
You too, bye. Okay, that's it. Parents have a great role to play, like we've been saying. What have you done to ensure that your child is protected? How have you covered your child? How have you tried to ensure that your child does not fall victim to this kind of people? Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's the name and where are you calling from?
David from Central area.
Okay, go ahead, Dave.
Good. This very topic, I think it has been like I would like to try to put it a normal thing in Nigeria that if it was to be a senior person, they would have put it that maybe the way he's dressing is the way he appears.
Yes, but this is a child.
I believe the law should be strengthened that if anybody is being caught in any act of molestation, rape, or any form, to be sentenced to death, either by hanging. So that if they do it to one or two persons, people will begin to stay away from all this kind of evil. Because there is so much evil in the land that people are now, I think, evil is now rising the wrong. If one do evil, he goes there, he's taken to court, or maybe taken to police cell. Highest is maybe 2 hours, 3 hours is out from the police when he pays his money, or maybe taken to court, hire a lawyer, the next thing is out. So let there be laws. Let there be laws that will punish crime. I think that is the only thing that can help us in this country.
Yes, and thank you. We have laws, right? But just like every other thing, the interpretation of the law as well as the implementation of the law is the problem. If not, we have the Child Rights Act, but then how has it been interpreted? How are we implementing it?
The laws are not being interpreted in the way that it would just to take his course. If you have somebody in a position, maybe you have money, you commit any crime, you go free with it.
Yes.
For instance, I think for some time now we've been finding it a bit easy and funny and free in Maraba area. It's because when soldiers came up, all those people that were stealing phones, beating people. Look at the time they molest one woman, collect her back. When soldiers treat that guy, human rights came up. And it was an abuse of fundamental rights, or what is that? But if the person that snatched that woman back has succeeded in killing that woman now, they take him to court, the following day they will release him, and he will go scot free. I pray God will help this country.
Amen. Thank you. All right. In as much as we're not asking for jungle justice, there's a law in the land that punishes any offense. What we're saying is that the person needs to be punished according to the law of the land. Hello. You need to turn down the volume of the radio. Okay, go ahead. No, your radio is too high. I can't hear you. If you're calling me, you need to turn down the volume of your radio completely, or you move away from it. I can hear you even on your radio there. Okay, we won't be able to communicate very well. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon. This is Ben.
Okay, Ben. Go ahead.
Yeah. You see. I don't know how to term this type of thing, but it's something I say that is spiritual. It's spiritually driving. You understand? Otherwise, what is in a minor that anybody can find it attractive to? So it's a satanic affair. It's somebody has been called somewhere, or you want to satisfy the conditions. But let me tell you, no matter the cause of it, there should be laws guarding all this type of like I'm very self. There should be a strict law, like anybody found culpable should be castrated. You understand me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Yes, that should be castrated. You understand? And you just have to wonder, the society. That is.
Hello?
That's my own solution to that. Yeah, that's my own solution to that problem. Because it has been so wonderfully, bad. Or what we are seeing now, unlike what happened in those days. I don't know. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And yes, parents are trying to cover up the things from happening inside school, from inside yard. I don't know. So that law should be castration. Castrate that sort of man. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, and like I said earlier, we do have a law in Nigeria that stipulates penalties for people who do things like this. And then what we're saying is that anybody who is found guilty of doing such acts should be brought under that same law. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Samuel. I'm calling from Maitama.
Okay, go ahead, please.
How concerning this issue you are discussing, I say that the mothers should take responsibility of to check the mother's child. They also check the child, take the part of as if there's anything wrong with the child. Because the children cannot talk. And they have found themselves around this friends of the family. So there's someone when their parents are able to at least educate these children, if they should talk to you, they should let us know. Anybody touch you here, let nobody touch you here.
Yes.
If anybody touch here, let us know.
Yes.
So with that, and secondly, this woman, I do not say they should put the case they come into. Not just they want to be kids or something like that. If not so, they caught someone beat up someone, snatch the back, and arm a bit of the person. They come in and say the person's right. What is the person's right there for stealing? Is he supposed to steal? So that is what I have concerning especially the mothers.
Okay.
There's only the mothers to supervise the children, check the children, and know what their children are going through. As you talk to their children, give their children the confidence to talk to them back.
That's very key.
Allow your child to know when to tell you. At least if something is wrong with the child should be able to open up to the mother or the father. The child should be free to talk to the parents. But the parents are the cause of the issue. They don't even give their children freedom. The children cannot even talk to their parents. They cannot even experience themselves. So that is the cause of. That is why most of these things normally go wrong. They will now discover that there has been a lot of damage. So thank you.
You're right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So we need to ensure that we are able to communicate with our children. Information is very key. Information can help a lot to reduce the incidences of what we're saying. But some parents, unfortunately, do not create that room for the children to talk to them. And sometimes even when children come to say, okay, mom, this is what this person said or did, and instead of you to educate your child, you start beating your child. So a lot of times the children are even scared of telling you because they believe that you blame them and you even beat them up sometimes. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, please. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Sidney Ibrahim.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. In fact, what I see in this issue is that our government don't want to do anything about this case. Because I imagine a child of 3 years that he raped, a child of 3 years that he raped, what does she know of
taking care of herself. He doesn't know anything. I think that this thing government have to take this thing seriously. If they get a man that is a boy in child, they have to be punished to stop all this nonsense in this Nigeria. Because this is taking around hard in this Nigeria this time around. No day that you will not hear from radio station, one or two radio stations that they punish any child. Hello?
I can hear you. I'm with you.
Yeah, I think that I want people to maybe if they go to any person like that, maybe they do jungle justice for that person. They need to wake up. Because I cannot go to three old girls and they rape you, they rape the girl, and I'll take it very easy with that person. You personally, I will take it very easy with that person. Because government, for me, because the way the thing is going on now, even yourself, you say for yourself, you take care of yourself. It's okay, I think that the mother was caught around, the mother went out, and your family, the man below their house, then somebody, you come back, your people tell you, say, this brother, do it like this. And you report to police station. Police will take you to do your work. They will take the necessary action for that person's head. The thing you do no good. For me, what I know is if I do to somebody's child, then I think that that's why I say if somebody took to my own child, I will not like it. If you do it to I cannot do it to your own child.
Yes.
Like one day, I was sitting down in my house, in front of my house. My son went to my neighbor's house, and when coming back, a woman just out for the bed on the road. I raised up. In fact, the man catch the man that day. The way I take action on that man, I begin to ask man, what is this one boy doing? The man started to look me. In fact, I was annoyed that day. Definitely, later on, I told the man that no way to forget this boy is my son. If it is my own son, and I see somebody do to him like this, I take action on you. I also take action on that person or concerning my own son. That's what I told the man that day. So is that the man respect me for that place?
Okay.
In fact, we need to wake up. Because like one way for the woman identity session, they are taking to that man, this is so good. Now see the campaigns where they get the pass through. In this Nigeria, and government know the truth, they see the truth, they see the cover it. Imagine our Nigeria police. Some of our Nigeria, I know that Nigeria police they are trying this time around. But that one, waiting that one means because they don't collect price. I can say that now price they collect, they're not supposed to see that thing and see they cover the bad thing. It's not good.
Thank you very much.
Our government, we need to try, please. I'm begging on behalf of the masses. Let our government wake up. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so that's our last caller for today on the program. But like I'll also reiterate is that, you don't do jungle justice if anyone is found culpable, or anyone is seen to have done the wrong thing. The best thing to do is to report the person to the relevant authority. But then what we should be doing as a people is to pressure our security agencies in such a way that they will now know that the right things must be done. They should interpret the laws accordingly and ensure that those who have committed and found guilty of rape at any time, no matter who the child is or who the person is, should be punished. By the time we continue to shield people, shield rapists, and then instead of them being in jail, they're walking on the street and raping more people, I think we're not helping ourselves. So our security agencies need to recognize that rape is a serious thing, and they need to take care of it and look at it from that angle. Enough of them thinking that it's what they should go home and settle. It's not a business to settle at home. It's a business that if the person is guilty, the person should be locked up. The person shouldn't be moving on the street, so that, you know, would be those who have tendencies of doing that can know that, look, if we do it, we cannot go free, and it will serve a lot, because a lot of people would have stopped doing it. And on that note, I'd like to say, for parents, you need to look after your children better. Okay, don't ignore your child. Ensure that you are able to communicate with your children. Tell them the issues from when you can. The earlier, the better. Talk to them about their body parts. Talk to them about, you know, the warning signs, the bad signs. Talk to them that nobody should touch them, both the men and the women. All right, and they should report any move by anyone that that is suspicious based on the information that you give to them. Let them come to talk to you. When your children come to talk to you, do not beat them. All right? I know the pressure is so much, but do not beat them. Listen to what they're saying. Ask questions. Investigate the things that they tell you, and ensure that the right things are done. Okay? WCS will return again on Monday same time. My name is Oikeke Igado Kure.
You know what it's like to be overlooked.